What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto. We are going to talk about Ethereum today and how I was wrong. I was wrong about Ethereum. I was wrong about most crypto. I thought that we were in this range going to break down. We, in fact, did not. We psyched some people out a couple times, including myself, and then we went up. We had a nice move. We got some nice volume here on the daily time frame. It's pretty nice. It's not magnificent. It's not the biggest volume. No, traditionally, breaking out of a range, you would like to see more volume. And I don't even know if we've actually broken out of a range. Let's see. Let's see here. I guess yeah, we have. We've definitely broken out of this range. Um, at least on this line. But generally, what happens is whenever you see this kind of break, you come back and test this line as support. They call it a break, hook, and go, whatever. Um, and if you don't come back and test it, you'll at least flag out and move sideways for a little bit. Um, what I don't like about this move is, as we've had previously, we've had a high, a lower high, and another lower high so far. We haven't broken out of this formation quite yet. We did break the trend line, which is nice, but we haven't broken out of the formation yet. Another thing, if we zoom out a little bit more, let's see. Yeah, I think maybe I need to go on the weekly for this one. Just looking at price right now. If we're looking at price, yeah. Okay, so take this low here, and you take this low here, you can see we bounced right off of this line. That is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, that is a good thing. But we kind of hung out at it for a second. We approached it slowly. I mean, we kind of hung out at it here too and bounced off. We could be doing something similar. We could be going higher than this move. But on the weekly time frame, we've yet to see significant volume come in. Be it let me remind you though, we're only at 4 days and 8 hours until this week closes. Man, I can't talk today. Um, so there is time for the volume to come in. Could it come into the downside? Maybe. Could it come into the upside? Maybe. We're still below the purple line. We showed resistance off it last time we were there. The purple line is sloping upwards, which is a good thing. But being below it for this long, I don't know. I don't know. We're below. No, we're not. We're bouncing off of the 50, which is looking good. Not gonna lie, this is actually looking good. Anytime on a weekly time frame, or on any time frame really, with this long-term RSI, that we are above the 50 on the RSI, but below the purple line, it's a great time to buy, right? And we can see that. We can see that here. We were below the 50 here. Maybe that would have actually been the best time to buy. Arguably, I cannot talk. But when we started getting our RSI above this 50 range again, and we were kind of holding it as support. Yes, we dipped a little bit below, but really we held 49 as support. If we want to be quite literal, maybe 49 is something for the weekly. Maybe that's what we have to do. 49, holding that and being below this purple line. That's a good thing. It's a really good thing. It should have told you that buying under here is a great idea, and it definitely was. It definitely was on a weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, you can see that we went from $82 all the way up to $362, back all the way down to $90. There was a lot of wig wagging that went on here. Even from here we went 115 up to 285 on a weekly time frame. You smush it up, you can see great time to buy, great time to sell up here, but that takes a lot of time. Okay. And what's not good necessarily, is that we're still below the 50 here. And if we were to close the week at the current prices, we'd be potentially rejecting this 50, which would not be good. It wasn't good either the last two times. Each of the two times before, we got a move that was greater than 16% to the downside within a week. So could that happen this week? It could. If we go up higher, if we can close the week really just a little bit higher than the current price, we'll be above this 50, which we did do before over here. But I don't know. It might be good because we have 3 peaks here in the RSI. If we were to break above the 50 on this one, that might be the golden ticket. That might be the one. I was wrong. I did think that we were going to go down. I was short, and I got my short got stopped out. I definitely took a loss, but that's okay. My win streak is at an end. It was a bigger loss than I've had in a second, but that's okay. That's okay, man. I did go short yesterday again. Right around the top. I went short. I want to say like 15.11. Yeah, it's like 15.11, and then I closed my short at 14.61. I opened a long at 14.55, and I was gonna close my long. I didn't mean to close it last night, but man, I closed it last night on accident. I set my long to close at 15.30, but I actually closed it at like 1480 or 90 or something like that. Like I closed it like somewhere on this candle, I want to say. Yeah. Yeah. It was somewhere in this candle that I closed it, which I'm kind of upset about, but whatever, that's okay. I did go short again. I went short actually at 1585, which, I mean, not to toot my own horn, that was the top. That basically was the top as of right now. We'll see. I am up. Let's just see what that would be. I'm taking a 5x leverage. I'm up right now at least, and I know that that's not completely accurate because here it says 1583. I did it from 1585, but whatever, it's close enough. 5x means that my position is 5 times, so right now I'm up like 6%, 7%. I do plan on closing this short, and I'll go over where I'm planning on closing this short. So, I don't just because I'm short, I want to be clear. I don't think this move is done. I don't think it's necessarily done just yet. We can go on an hourly basis. We do have, don't get me wrong, we do have bearish divergence here. We have a high and a lower high. We do have 3 hours and 31 minutes to close this, so it's not confirmed bearish divergence yet. If this candle turns green, that could eliminate the bearish divergence for sure. We still have 3 hours 31 minutes to do that, and it can happen. It can definitely happen. But if we go to the hourly here, we can see that we've got confirmed 1, 2, 3 lower peaks with 1, 2, 3 higher peaks. That's triple bearish divergence. That is a bad thing for price, and at least on an hourly scale, I would expect this to come back down, probably around this area, around 1453. So that's a $100 drop on Ethereum. If we take it again from where I went short, that's a little bit closer this time. I mean, an 8% move down, if I was to take profits at 8%, which I am thinking about taking profits around 1450 actually, 8 times 5, that's a 40% increase right there. So that's the reason why we trade these shorter term time frames. Sometimes when we get big moves like this, it's the best time to trade, but you want to get in and out. You don't want to hold it. You don't want to hold it. I don't care if it goes lower than that. I'm just going to take my 40% and reassess. If it does go lower than that, maybe I'll go long down here instead of holding that short all the way through. I know some people like to take profits as they go and leave their short open. It's just not my style. I'm kind of like an all or nothing guy, and at least with my trades. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But okay, so we can see on an hourly here, we're in overbought conditions, triple bearish divergence, not good, not good. Volume's coming in at the top here, but it's tapering off, not good, not good. If we go to the 4 hour, again, we could potentially have confirmed bearish divergence. It's forming right now. It's not confirmed. We have time to confirm it, but potential bearish divergence right here, not good. And then on the daily time frame, we're above this purple line. You remember how on the weekly I was saying the fact that we're below the purple line, but the RSI is above the 50, that's a good thing. Well, on the daily, we are above the purple line, but the RSI is below the 50. That's a bad thing. That is a bad thing, at least for the long-term RSI. In the short-term RSI, on my 10 RSI here, we are at the highest levels. Here's another bad thing. We're at the highest levels that we've been on the RSI since March. Since this time over here, since March. That's about 7 months ago. So we're at the highest levels. If the day was to close now, we still got 7.5 hours on the day left. So a lot can happen in that time. Don't get me wrong. But we could go lower. We could go higher even. But being at the highest point that we've been in, without even being at the highest point in price, we're actually creating the lowest high that we've had in that whole range. This would be just another series of lower highs, right? And I mean, even in more relative terms, it's the highest volume or highest RSI read that we've seen, even with these 2 peaks coming in. But we've got a lower price peak here. That's not a good thing. That's hidden bearish divergence. Classic bearish divergence, again, is whenever you see lower highs with higher highs in price. Lower highs on the indicator with higher highs on the price. Hidden bearish divergence is where you see higher highs in the indicator but lower highs in the price. That's hidden bearish divergence. And we are potentially getting that. It's not confirmed, but we're potentially getting that. The thing about hidden bearish divergence versus classic bearish divergence, from what I've found, or like any classic divergence compared to hidden divergences aren't as significant. They are significant. They do direct the price to some degree, but it's a much smaller degree than your actual divergences would be. So for example, like, I don't know, here we've got classic bullish divergence right here, lower low, higher low. So we got a classic strong move off of it. But here, let's see, maybe not there. I don't know. That's maybe, let me see if I can find a better example now for like hidden bearish divergence. Okay, so here we've got hidden bearish divergence. We've got a higher high on the RSI, but lower highs in the price. So we got a small move to the downside. Now, don't get me wrong, that was coupled with rejecting the 50, so we did inevitably get a bigger move to the downside. But this smaller move was nothing compared to like this big ass move that happened. That's all I'm trying to say. And being that this is hidden bearish divergence, it might be a pullback, but I'm not calling for lower lows here. Not yet. I mean, I do think lower lows are coming, but this move might not be done. Like, can't deny it. This move might not be done. We could go higher than this high here. We could at least go higher than the current high right now. Um, and I'm not foregoing that. That's totally a possibility. And in my opinion, it might even be likely right now, with all the strong readings we're getting on the RSIs. But this hidden bearish divergence might need to play out. And what that would look like, at least to me, what I might expect would be maybe a pullback to this purple line, which is kind of a classic thing that I've seen. You know, come back, test it as support, bounce off it. Hopefully we get more of a bounce than this if we want prices to go up. If we don't, we're going to shit the bed, you know, and that's okay. That happens. And if we look back historically, at least in the past few months, anytime we've been above this purple line while the RSI has been below the 50, it's been a good time to sell. Well, we're above the purple line, RSI, the long-term RSI is below the 50. It might be a good time to sell. We can go back even further here. You know, here we were above the 50, but again, we're still in this bear trend and above the purple line. It was a good time to sell, but here we were above the 50. The only thing telling us to sell at that point would have been this bearish divergence right here. We've got a lower high with our higher highs, bearish divergence, bad. You should know being overbought with bearish divergence is not a good time to buy. Even with the reads above the 50 here, it's not a good time to buy. So this was like a false indication here. And then we held this as resistance, finally got below the 50, should have keyed that we were going down, and we did. We definitely did. Okay, so anyways, back to the main point. My current plan for Ethereum right now is to take profits probably around 1450. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take some nice profits, hopefully. If not, you know, by the time we get below this wick here, I might actually just put a stop loss at 1525 so that I can at least stop out in profits. But I'm going to have my ultimate, like my 100% short canceling order, my buyback at 1460 or 1450. It says 1462 there, but I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it at 1460, 65. I might do 1465 actually, because I'd rather catch it than try to catch the bottom. I'd rather just get out of my position. So, anyways, that's my plan. I do expect us to have a little bit of a drawback, and to be completely honest, I know I was saying that I'm not expecting us to go lower just yet, but I'm not expecting us to go higher than this high. And truthfully, I'm not really expecting us to go higher than 1700. I doubt we even get close to, I mean, we could get close to 1700, but we'll probably more likely, I don't know, chill. I don't know. That could have been the top. That could have been the top. Let's just see. Let's pull out a fib here. So the 618 for this range is at 1650 basically. And I bet we could, I mean, with this wick up here, I bet we could go up there, test it as resistance, and then come back down. So this is what, you know, to me, has not convinced me that we're done yet. Until we get to the 618 or maybe even to the 0.7, which I guess that is above 1700. It could happen. I don't know, somewhere between these two lines. I think that we're going to go. We might find resistance on the 618. We might break above it and then find resistance on the 0.7, which is a classic thing. I've seen it happen plenty of times. Let's just see what the last one did for us, just as a point of reference. Yeah, right here, you know, from top to low, we found resistance right on the 618. We went a little bit above it, like what I was just talking about, maybe between this range, you know, but we closed right at it, and we didn't actually close above it at all. And we could do that same thing on this run up. We could come maybe wick above it a little bit, but I don't know if we'll close above it. If we do, I'd be surprised if we broke. I said 1700, but I'd be surprised if we broke. I'm going to change my answer to 1725. 1725. I'd be very surprised if we broke this high, especially with the fact that we're so hot on the RSI right now. It needs to cool down. We've got this hidden bearish divergence which needs to play out. Let's come back down on the RSI to this overbought territory, see if we can get a bounce here, or at least come down to the 60 and get a bounce there. And then if that doesn't hold, we definitely want to hold the 50. If none of those things happen, if we break through the 50, That's not good. That's not good. And I would be postured to believe that we will go lower than this previous low here. But who knows? Who really knows? I'm just making predictions. They're not necessarily like a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. Not that it's not necessary. It's completely not a guarantee. I don't know anything. So let's see here. Let's see. You can see we are having lower highs. This green candle, while nice, we do have 4 days left, is not as big as these red candles. The bears, in my opinion, are still in control. We're below the 50 here. Bears are still in control. It is a neutral read, don't get me wrong, but in a downtrend, I'm going to give it to the bears. That's all I got, I guess. I think I'm good. I think I've explained my point. I'm just going to go over it real quick one more time. I do think we have a little bit more legs up in this run. We might for the next day or so take a break, take a breather, get set up around mid 1400s and then get ready for that next push up. You can see here on the hourly, I don't know if I said this, but I'm just going to say it again. You can see here how you've got a strong move up and then it tapers off, right? It still climbed up, but it tapered off. We had the initial move and then tapering off. On the hourly, it might be obvious that we're going to come down for that smaller move to the downside. But on the 4 hour, in my opinion, we haven't really had that tapering off yet. Like we just kind of had this one direct move up. I think we'll kind of come back, chill for a little bit, maybe down here, and then we're going to have a move that's not as vertical as this one. We'll have a move that tapers off a little bit more, that maybe lasts through the rest of the week. Brings us up to around 1700 for a weekly close, around there, around 1700. I don't know if we'll break 1700, but around there, maybe for a weekly close. And then I don't know if we can't, if this week closes and we find resistance at this 50 again, that's not going to be good. It's not going to look good, at least. And if we still have this hidden bearish divergence that needs to play out. So I am expecting a move down within the next day or so. Unless we just get a huge move up from today. We still have 7 hours and 20 minutes left in the day. Anything can happen. But right now, that's what I'm expecting. I am short. I am prepared to take my short all the way down to 1450, 1465 is what I said, actually. So I'm going to close it around 1465. And if and when we get below this wick here at 1525, I'm going to set my loss there, my stop loss there. So that if we happen to dip below it but come back up, I'll just take profits. And it won't be as big of profits as I wanted to, but at least I won't get stopped out if we make a move back to the upside in the red. I do think that this bearish divergence on the 4 hour is going to play out, but we could see something like this 1 hour where we come down and test the overbought zone and hold it as support. That's only going to move us up. It's going to take, it won't be as immediate as this move was, but it will happen. It will happen if we can hold this overbought zone as support, or even at least the 60. And I mean, to be fair, we could drop all the way down to the 50. If we get a 50 and we bounce right off of that, that could look good too. So there's a whole lot of things that are primed for the upside right now. I don't think the move's over. We might take a breather. That's all I got for you guys. I am short right now, but I'm looking to go long. I don't think the move's over yet. I'm not going to be in this short for days or weeks. I'm maybe 1 day at the most. Yeah. Anyways, if you like the content, if you like the video, if you like me, leave a like, comment, and if you don't like the video, leave a thumbs down and comment as to why you don't like the video. And yeah, I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you guys. It's very encouraging. It's just the beginning, y'all. We'll see where it goes, but it's just the beginning. Thank you all very much. Have a great day. I hope we all make a shit ton of cash together. Take care.